Today, let's go over some free sewing patterns for July. Welcome, I do sewing and DIY related content, and today we are doing some free sewing patterns for July. I have a Pinterest board where each month I provide free sewing patterns that I find, and this month we are doing college dorm themed sewing projects. These could also just be perfect for around your own house or for friends and family, but I did try to have this with more of that college dorm room themed link. So below there is a link to this Pinterest board in case you're interested. Let's go ahead and get started though, and the first is this easy tote bag. So what I really liked about this is it's really just one big piece of fabric, and then you have those two handles. So really quick, really easy. You're not cutting out a ton of pattern pieces. This is what the bag looks like. I thought that this would be a really great way though to put things in it to bring to the college dorm, and then your student can use it over and over again depending on what they're into and what type of fabric or patterns that they would like it to have. I would highly recommend using a very thick material so that your tote bag can stand up a little bit, so more of like a canvas, but she walks you through step by step on how to make this tote bag. There is some folding that goes on so that it gives it a little bit more dimension and depth, but overall a very quick and easy sew. I would also recommend finishing off the edges using like a zigzag stitch or serger. Next, let's talk about a bowl cozy. So I think these are really fun. You can use them for whenever you microwave food, and then you can put your bowl into the cozy so that it's not as warm and hot, especially when you're trying to eat it. I know people normally do these around the holidays. I actually have a video on my YouTube channel where I made my own, so I'll include a link to that if you are curious as well. But I think these could be really fun for college students too, since they are microwaving a lot of their food, and normally they have a microwave in their dorm room. So definitely wanted to share this. She includes a video too, but walks you step by step through how much fabric you would need, how to cut out the material, and how to just work through the process. One of the ways that this works is that you have to quilt your fabric, so normally it's just sewing on the diagonal, but then you add little darts so that it gives it a little bit more of dimension so that it fits around your bowl, and she has some really clear pictures to show exactly what that would look like. So if this is something of interest to you, I think that these can be really fun. You could also sell these at craft shows. That's another idea. So you could make multiple of these in different patterns and different colors. If you're doing it for your college student, I know a lot of colleges have their own fabric now, so that would be another way you could go about it. Next up, we have this little easy spa towel wrap. So I was trying to think of something that would be good for bathroom use, especially since some dorm rooms, the way they're set up, they may not have a bathroom directly attached, but they have to walk down a hallway. So I thought that this seemed like a really great option so that, there's not a lot of sewing involved. You just use your own towel, and then you can add that button and the little elastic so it just fits nice and securely. So all you have to do with this is just a little bit of hand sewing, very quick, very easy to do. And then it adds just a little bit more security, especially if you are in a new place where you're not going to have to worry about trying to dry it off really quickly. You can just put this on and then go back to your dorm room. So just a little bit more privacy, and it's a little bit more secure than a regular towel. Next up, we have this fun mouse pad. So I actually loved this idea. I haven't seen anybody make a mouse pad before, so I thought this was really cute. All that they did though is it's just two pieces of cotton, that binding around the outside, and then it's fusible fleece. So the fusible fleece is what gives it a little bit more dimension and structure. And all you're doing is kind of sewing those two layers, the binding on the outside. Now she does have that little curve on those four edges. So for this, you can decide. You could keep it straight if you didn't want to add a curve. She does include some pattern pieces that you could print out, but I also think you could just find your own curve on Google Images and kind of cut that around if you didn't want to, try to cut out a new pattern piece. But it's really up to you with how far you want to go with this. Very quick, very simple though, and especially if you did it in like your college students like school colors, or if you've even got their fabric, it could be really fun. Next up, continuing with sort of the bag theme, was this cute little makeup bag. Now I do have a couple makeup bag patterns on my channel as well in case you're interested. What I really liked about this one though is it's just all cotton material, and it's a very quick and fast sew. So for this you would just need to cut out the fabric. She even shows you the dimensions that you use, and then she adds these two little buttons. So for this you could use regular snaps, you could use those plastic snaps, you could also use Velcro. It really depends on sort of what you're looking for with that. This is very beginner friendly. Her website also is great for beginners. So the idea is she really walks you through how to select your fabric, how to cut out your fabric, how to prep your fabric. You can see there's a lot of information on here that you kind of have to scroll through. But once you get to it, she walks step by step through on how you can make this makeup bag. So it really seemed very helpful. There is a curve that is a part of like that flap that goes over it. She uses kind of like a compass to get that shape. You could use a compass. You could also just use like yarn and a thumbtack to help draw it out. There's lots of different ways that you can actually create this yourself. So you can see here she used that compass approach. And then she just cuts out the curve, and then you would have all of your fabric done and ready to go. And you're just gonna do that twice, and then you just pin this all up, take a seam around, and then turn it right side out, top stitch, and then all she does is fold this up and you get this cute little bag. So really quick, really easy. Highly would recommend if you're looking for a very fast turnaround project. You don't have to use those plastic snaps. You could definitely use Velcro or a regular snap for what you had on hand. And then last but not least, we had this pen holder that you can add to your notebook. I have seen these so many times, especially when it comes for back to school. What I really like about these though is that while they always talk about pens or pencils, you could also use these to hold like an Apple pen, or if you knew your student really liked to draw or doodle or journal, this could be perfect for them. You could use whatever type of fabric that really speaks to them as far as patterns go. And then this pattern walks you step by step through how much you will need, how you would prep your materials, and then the dimensions that you will use as well. So the great part is that there really is no pattern pieces that need to be cut out. She just talks about the dimensions for all of the fabric and then walks you through of how you can build it with some really clear pictures. So I would highly recommend if you're looking for, one of these quick little patterns, you could definitely use this, and then you could also put it with some new pens and maybe a new notebook to give to your college student just as a fun little gift before they go away. So let me know what you thought about all of these fun ideas, if there's any you're going to try to make. I definitely want to try to make the mouse pad. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next. Thanks for watching.